My name's Neil Armstrong. I'm a chef working here in London. I work mainly in food business consultancy. And the thing about cooking, of course, you spend a lot of time preparing, put it out on the table and it's gone in 2-3 minutes. But that's perhaps one of the great things about photographing food is it captures that experience as well. I mean, I'm not a professional photographer, but I love photography. For me, it's a record of my work, which otherwise is lost in time. The book that I've written is about Andalusia, which is right at the southern tip of Spain. The book describes a place and a house and the recipes that took place in cooking in this house over 3 years. I worked for this family and they knew that I had a great interest in photography. So all this food was cooked for them and just snapped in the very moment before it went out to table. Today we are at New Covent Garden Market. We're with Clive from First Choice and we're in his warehouse because we're going to go into the kitchen later on and cook some recipes from the book, El Novo Kitchen. We're keeping it simple and that's very much in line with Andalusian cooking. We're going to make a tortilla, which is a Spanish omelette. And the other thing we're going to do is make a gazpacho. It's like a vegetable smoothie. We're going to need some herbs, some chervil, parsley. Definitely need some celery for the gazpacho. That will be fine. Cheers, Clive. That's super. So I'm inspired by where I come from, which is Scotland, but of course I live here in London. Food cultures are very different, and yet you see those common themes running through them. So wherever you go, you can find inspiration. What I'm doing right now is preparing for my Spanish omelette. And the two basic ingredients are your potato and your onion. I'm just going to let that just sweat down, and you're really looking that the potato just becomes soft, and then we're going to mix up our egg and lay that over the top. A good tortilla must be seasoned properly. I'm using some sea salt and season it quite high because you're going to have the egg going in there as well. And I'm going to give this a mix. And I've got my potato and I'm going to pop into there and then in it goes. It's the perfect picnic dish. So that's on the go, and then we can get set up for our gazpacho. So we've got our Romano peppers, some celery, tomato, garlic, cucumber, onion, some parsley, and usually an old stale bit of bread. You want acidity, and that's going to come from a sherry vinegar, a really decent olive oil, some salt and pepper to boost it up as well. So my philosophy in the kitchen is based around my experience of teaching cooking. At the end of the day, it's got to come from the heart. Understand who you are cooking for, who your client is, and you have to cook for them with an amount of love. Okay, so we're ready to blend. Let's just pile this in. Brilliant. So just get it started. I can pile some more in on top. I'm also going to drop my bread in now. Let's get that blended up and let's have a taste. So right now, there's no seasoning, there's no salt, there's no pepper, there's no vinegar. That's not bad actually. It definitely needs some acidity, so I'm going to add about a tablespoonful of vinegar, some salt, pepper, and let's blend that, and then I'm going to drizzle the olive oil in on top, and that's going to slightly emulsify it, and it tastes very nice. Very, very nice. The gazpacho, you can just eat it on its own, and often it's just served in a glass, nice and chilled with ice. But if it's served in a slightly more formal context on the table, then often it's served with some garnishes. Tostada, which is just toast, basically. And I'm just going to make some slices. I'm slicing on an angle, which makes the toast a little bit longer. Let's get some more olive oil. The oven this time is on hot. I'm going to get them toasting, and then I'm going to take some garlic and scrape them along the top, so into the oven. Then on top of those, I'm going to put a little salsa. This salsa is going to contain some red onion, we've got tomato, we've got herbs and some garlic. So let's just dice that up into the bowl. We've got our red onion. Let's just give this guy a peel and a dice. Definitely some garlic. Give it a little bit of a bash to get the skin off. And then with the back of the knife, I'm just going to make a puree and that go in there. That's the toast ready. Let's just pull that out. So I'm just going to turn it over, take another piece of garlic, rub the garlic clove over the surface of the toast, another little drizzle of olive oil, and that goes back into the oven until I'm ready. As I finish my salsa, and it's almost there, I've got chives, so rough chopped parsley, olive oil, some vinegar as well, salt, pepper, and off we go. The last thing are just these little accompaniments for the gazpacho. We've got cucumber, pepper, some shallot or onion, and a celery stick. We also have some quail's eggs. Just give them a bit of a tap and shell them. It's easiest if you do that in the water. Okay, so we have our peeled quail's eggs. And the idea with this is that people are going to help themselves to these vegetables. They just spoon it into their soup, and it helps to add that added crunch and texture. We're also going to add some pepper, lay them out flat, And what you've also got going for you here is this color contrast as you lay these onto the plate. And last of all, some shallots, and that's going to be our garnish. So we've got the tortilla, which is cooked, our tostada, which are nice and hot and ready for their topping of salsa. Great, so that's the food presented. So we've got the tortilla, we've got the gazpacho, we've got the tostada, and we've got the little accompaniments here. And I'm going to take some photos. I like to shoot with my Olympus pen, the EP2, and I've got a really nice lens on here with a nice big aperture so I can get really good light, good depth of focus. This is set up in a way where it's quite obvious that it's, set up in a studio. I actually quite like to bring that reality into it, or actually take a photo of a plate that's come back from the table. I think there's one in there of just the fish bones left. I like to learn by experience, so by doing more, you learn more. I basically had 3 years worth of photographs. I wanted to pull them together into a format to present to my client. I chose blurb because it was easy. One of the good things was that I could pull it together, take my time in doing that, and then print off one copy, get that back, proof it, make the odd changes, and then do a run of whatever I wanted. I couldn't have done this without the help of my clients or people that I've worked with. But at the same time, it's very much my expression that's in there. So I liked my ability to express myself and to be in control. So a delightful thing to have put together. My name is Neil Armstrong. I'm a chef, and this is my book, The El Nobo Kitchen.